And that has been his plan all along. And I just wonder how voters are going to react to the details of his economic policy. I want to take a snapshot at some of the battleground states. I know you can't see this, but I'll sort of explain it. Those battleground states that are lagging in income growth, in the red there, those are more favorable for Donald Trump. He is doing well in those states where they are lacking economic progress. Stephen Moore.
Yeah, well, that's not a surprise. Yeah. I mean, I don't see your chart, but it's not surprising to me. I mean, those states, especially, Sandra, we think we're going to do really well in those industrial Midwestern states like Wisconsin.
What is working for him right now? Why? They're obviously getting the message and they like it. What about Donald Trump's plan? Do people who are struggling, what are they biting into?
Well, two things, Sandra. People in states like Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, upstate New York, they realize what we've done in the last 8 years hasn't worked at all. So they've rejected Obamanomics. And look, Trump has gone to these areas. As you know, he spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania and Ohio and those Midwestern states. And he said, look, we're going to bring jobs back. We're going to rebuild our steel industry and our oil and gas and coal industries. And got a big applause when he said he's going to repeal these regulations that have killed our coal industry, for example, in states like West Virginia and Pennsylvania and Wyoming. So, yeah, the very states that have suffered the most under Obama are the states that we're doing really well
And let's talk real quickly about that $4.4 trillion tax cut. Can he pay for it?
Yeah. Well, you know, a couple things on that, Sandra. You know, it's 4.4, but as Donald Trump said very emphatically today, we believe it's only about $2.5 trillion because we're going to grow the economy. When you get more people working and more people off welfare, you reduce the deficit. But we're going to close a lot of the loopholes in the tax system, and people like that idea. And we're going to cut spending. For goodness sakes, we haven't cut government spending in Washington for 30 years. And, you know, Donald Trump said, look, he turned to a lot of the businessmen in that room and said, you know you can cut 2 or 3 or 4% out of your budgets when you run a business. Why can't government do it? And it was a big applause line for him.
Well, you're obviously very excited about it. It was a room filled with people there at the Waldorf. You just walked out of there, came to our camera. Thanks for doing it. Steve Moore.